Now, guys that watch my channel are familiar with my Uncle Pete that I've spoke of. What I haven't ever told any of the guys that watch my channel is Uncle Pete worked at the Texas School Book Depository, and he was there that terrible day in Dallas 60 years ago. Now, as you can imagine, through his entire life, that was all anybody ever wanted to talk to him about. I was the one and only person he told me that never asked about it. And the night before he passed away, he asked to see me. I was in the room alone with him. There was nobody else there. He leaned in and he told me,
SWFA needs a zero stop.
Now, guys, I've been a huge fan of SWFA forever. Whether it's the Ultralight, the 3 to 15 HD, the 3 to 9 HD, or more importantly, the fixed power scopes. This has been my go-to scope when I needed a budget hammer that I didn't have to worry about. The 10 by 42, to quote Uncle Pete,
Is the main best one.
and they have improved on this shit because they did like Pete wanted. They put a zero stop on this thing. And even better, now you get to choose from 2 different types of turrets. They have the small turrets you can put the caps on, and they have the large turrets for guys that are used to SWFA and doesn't want a bunch of changes, but you just want the zero stop. Let's look at this thing up close and I'll show it to you downrange, and my ass will be right back.
Now, while it's not the hugest thing in the world, they also updated the box. They used to come in a plain white box. Now, inside of it, concentrate there on those 2 small metal rings. You'll see them come into play in a minute. There's a look at the eyepiece. It's a quick focus eyepiece that's really fast throw and very, very smooth. It also has rubber cap on the end of it. That way, if you hand it to somebody and they get a little close, it won't bite them. Now, if you've never used one of the SWFA scopes, they are the one and only scope on the market that the parallax adjustment is at the rear where the normal power adjustment would be on a normal scope. But the main thing is that it works flawlessly and it's very, very smooth. And it's also very, very accurate. Now, the turrets on the scope is something that I think is really worth looking at. They go 5 mils in each revolution. They're super clicky, and yes, they're a tiny bit spongy, but we're talking about a scope that's gonna come in just over $300 and is bulletproof. Now, here's a look at me running the turret all the way from one end to the other, and these things have an absolute ton of travel inside of them, so you don't have to worry about running out of room. The side turret is just as clicky, just as positive as the top turret is. The horizontal travel, by the way, guys, on the right-hand side of the image, there's a little distortion. That is 100% the camera. The scope is crystal ass clear. Now, here's a look at it with the more tactical turret installed. And you can set it up like this with the tactical turret vertically, and then on the horizontal turret, you can set it up capped. Here's a quick look at the box test. I'm just running it 1 revolution in each direction. Again, ignore the distortion on the right-hand side. Now, to reset the turret and the zero stop, you just pull the turret off. Underneath is the zero stop. There's 3 little bitty screws. You undo the screws and the zero stop will drop. And then to adjust it, you just turn it clockwise until it stops on the metal pin that's inside. There's a look at it right there up close. Once it stops against that pin, put the zero stop back on it and you're off and rolling. Now, something that is a really, really nice feature on this is these little thread protectors. You just put these on, and that way, if you're not using the capped covers, it'll make sure the threads stay protected in case you decide to go from the tactical one back to the cap thread. Now, here's how I would set it up with the cap on one side and then the tactical one on the top. Either way, it works like a charm. This is the kind of improvement all 2nd gen scopes should have.
All right, now, if you want to save some money at SWFA, go there, put this scope or anything else they got in the cart, use my code Cyclop. When you do, it'll take 10% off of the purchase. I don't give a damn if you're buying a set of turrets or you want to buy 20 damn scopes. 10% off. Now, guys, this is not an affiliate for me. I do not have a dog in the fight other than the fact that I'm a firm believer in the quality of these scopes, and I'm damn sure a firm believer are the guys that are behind the company. And for all you guys that were asking for a long time, are they going out of business? Are they going out of business? That's not the case at all. They're just just focused on their own products. They're not worried about selling 100 other brands. They got their own shit to focus on. This is how they started. This is where they're getting back to their roots. SWFA needs a zero stop. He pulled me. He motioned. Ask SWFA. He motioned for me. And with his very last breath, SWFA needs a zero stop. Ask SWFA. Woo.